Now, when we see bourbon on the label, we already know American, 51% corn, and new oak barrel that's been charred. The word straight means the whiskey has been aged at least 2 years. In reality, most bourbon is aged around 4 years to get the required color. Small batch has no legal meaning, but it implies higher quality somehow. Single barrel doesn't yet have a legal definition either, but it's implied pretty strongly, so brands can get called out if they misuse it. You should see a number out of less than 200 if it really is. Of course, if you finish your whiskey in one of these for a bit before bottling, yes, it's a single 13,000 gallon barrel, I guess. Well, then we have age statements. And with bourbon, if any blending component is less than 4 years old, the age statement must appear on the bottle. The age statement has to be of the youngest spirits as well. Unfortunately, we see the mandated age statements ignored if we haven't made it to at least straight. Then our Tennessee whiskey, where we are bourbon, except maple charcoal filtered and made in Tennessee. We could call ourselves bourbon as well if we wanted to. The sour mash means we've taken the sour goo that was left over in the bottom of our column and used it in our fermentation to it seeds the mash. The acidic or sour nature makes many Saccharomyces strains more happy and helps get them started and therefore dominate the fermentation. Again, think consistency. Almost all whiskey producers do this. It just always shows on Jack Daniel's bottles, so it's often assumed to be a Tennessee thing. We also have a bottled in bond legal classification, which we'll cover in later lectures, but this dates back to our Wild West Prohibition and moonshine days, where a spirit's heritage was possibly dubious. It mandates, among other things, that a single distillery made the entire product. It was aged at least 4 years in wood and has to be bottled at 50% ABV or 100 proof. It's not a whiskey only thing either. You can have bonded Applejack or apple brandy, for instance. So now we go to our other whiskeys, and now even though plural, we still have to care about the darn E. We're only going to briefly cover a few others, knowing full well there are additional whiskey traditions around the world that we'll cover in later 300 level lectures.